safe here in the Redneck garage. Well, I'm still wearing my glasses because I scratched my eye with something. I don't know what it was. And I can't wear my contacts yet, so this is really bugging me. But today it was going to be a simple process of going ahead and taking off those front components and going ahead and installing the springs. And of course, that's not how it ended up. Once I got everything off and started taking a look at it, there was some pretty good amount of rust damage to where the shock mounts. So I'm going to go in and fabricate some of the metal pieces that hold the spring just in place. The bottom part where it sits on top of doesn't look too bad. But we're going to be doing some welding and everything on that. Doing a little bit of redneck repair where the spring goes. So let's get going. Oh man, so we're working on this. And this is my favorite thing today, is trying to rebuild this shock mount. Now most of it looks pretty cool around this portion where the spring sets, but the side of that thing's gone and the top is off, so we're going to try to weld some more metal in there to strengthen it up before we put the new springs on and get this all painted, which thrills me. Alright, I got a piece of 3-inch metal. I'm going to fabricate a piece that's going to fit in here and where I can weld it at the top and the bottom, give it a little bit of structure, and then a piece on the top, and try to weld that up a little bit, and I think we'll be okay. But that kind of sucks. It slowed me down. Alright, I got it cleaned up over on this side. I got the track bar loosened and the steering stabilizer off with my Milwaukee impact. It just knocked it right off. And I'm going to treat this with a little bit of rust prevention here with some rust converter from Eastwood, and then we're going to pressure wash it, and then I'm going to probably start doing some welding, trying to get that strengthened up a little bit. I'd say that we're right on the borderline of being able to save it or not. There's not really any parts like this made. You have to buy a whole new axle, evidently. I haven't been able to find replacement front coil spring mounts, so I think I can weld it up pretty well with some new metal. Alright, I got it treated. It's been sitting for a while, and now I'm going to pressure wash the crap out of it. As far as getting the engine compartment prepped, we're getting really pretty close. I've got new motor mounts. I've got to take these old ones off, and then I'll prep those motor mount support brackets that come off the frame. I'll clean those off and repaint them, and we'll make sure that we're coated all the way up to the firewall. Paint the wire wheel and paint the axle. We'll be doing a service on the front end because there's probably water that got in there from spray washing and everything with the axles out. We'll let that dry out real well, and then re-grease it, and we'll paint the axle, and pretty much the front end will be ready to drop the motor in, and hopefully next week we'll be able to get going on that. My Harbor Freight tool is going up in smoke. You pay 15 bucks for a grinder, you think it'd last longer than that. Look at the smoke coming out of this thing. Woo, it stinks. Alright, I'm afraid to use this anymore. I'm got to get a different grinder. But for 15 bucks, it lasted okay, I guess. Dang. Another one for the circular tool bin, Harbor Freight. It's so hot I can't even touch it. Damn. Woo! Done. Okay, so far so good. I got a piece of metal on the inside welded in, sitting on the axle tube, and I took a big old washer and welded it to the top portion, and then I'm going to weld this plate, which is the factory one, back on this. I'll spot weld it on, and it'll look pretty good. I've got one more plate to put on the side, on this side over here, right here, and kind of contour it down where I can get a good weld all the way around. But that should keep it plenty secure. Alright, so that's the rebuilt box, and it actually looks pretty good. There's a new metal on the outside, and on the inside I built it up with some plates on the inside where the actually welded underneath where the spring goes, so I'm happy about that. It looks really good, and I'm going to clean it up a little bit and then paint the crap out of it. Be ready to go. Alright, so I actually let the end of the shaft go down so far, and I haven't done the front end service yet, so oil ran out, so I had to clean all that crap up. But the spring mount turned out just excellent. I painted it last night with some rust encapsulator paint from Eastwood, and it looks great. It's ready to have the spring installed. We're going to paint this frame as soon as it dries up a little bit, and the knuckle, and we'll be ready to start putting it back together. Alright, so it turned out really nice. It took a whole day to get this thing refabricated, but got the new spring on. I painted the axle. We've got to do an axle service on it. But if you look at that, that looks really, really good, and it's very secure. That metal turned out great where it was welded in there. So one whole day to fix one part. How crappy is that? But the result is good. So that was super cool. We got the spring fixed and mounted back on, and I was happy about that. You know, sometimes you just got to be your own fabricator, welder, figure outer how to fix something when there's no parts available, and that's kind of how this front spring was. But I am super happy with the way the repair went, and now we can get going on the rest of the front end components to be installed with the lift kit and the steering components, everything like that. Awesome! I'm Dave from Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.